All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble. I will start it and I will pause it. I do see that there are viewers waiting. Unfortunately, where is the chat? There we go. Okay. Yeah, chat's moving, so that's a good sign. Unfortunately, for some reason, it seems you have to expand it out horizontally a little bit more to actually see it on the side now. Yeah, that's a little bit more than before. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. We've got all sorts of crazy shit to talk about today. We've got Melania Trump snubbing Jill Biden, which I strongly agree with, although Donald Trump did not snub Joe Biden, which was funny. Jill Biden also snubbed Kamala Harris at their event the other day. That was definitely funny. Talked about that earlier. We'll talk about Trump's hires. It looks like, according to Nick Sortor, breaking. Tulsi Gabbard is set to be named Director of National Intelligence. Yeah, I support this. I would have liked her for Secretary of State, but as long as she's in the administration, yeah, I think that she'll do a good job. Along with Hedgeseth there. We'll talk about him as well. No Trump bump. MSNBC is hemorrhaging viewers since Election Day. Sheds more than half of primetime audience. It looks like MSNBC and secondly to this CNN, they're not taking a scalpel to their lineup. They're taking a goddamn battle axe to their lineup. So they're both dying effectively. They'll have to reformulate everything they do, make up for lost time. And do I believe that they can actually do that? Probably not. DOJ Special Counsel Jack Smith plans to resign and file his report before Trump can fire him. Yes, he's taking his toys and going after breaking a few of them. He looks very, very sad lately, by the way. If you see any of the public appearances of Jack Smith post-election, he looks like a defeated man, which he deserves to be. So I'm chuckling at that. Trump has vowed to kill the U.S. offshore wind project. Will he succeed? I've got mixed feelings about this one. And so I'll be talking about offshore wind, the good, the bad, and the ugly, by the way. So that's under energy policy. Overall, I'd say so far you have a B-plus entry into the presidency. That's pretty good. We haven't had one of those since the first term of Ronald Reagan. Gabriel Inostroza, the position nominations have really pissed off shills on both sides of the spectrum. That's how you know they're good. Yeah, I know. Why is it that people think that I look younger when I've shaved, actually? I don't know. I look in the mirror. I think I see the same age, basically. Let's see. Sassmaster, thoughts on Casey refusing to concede? Possibility of him overturning result? Also, is Obama's legacy now in the trash? I'm tired of seeing him. Needs to retire from public. Yeah, Obama has been thoroughly defeated. Now, they trotted him at the 11th hour to try to save Kamala. It didn't work very well. I have no thoughts on any refusal to concession in any of these races because the ones that are still outstanding are pretty close. So it's kind of inevitable that they're going to do that. Last beacon, Haystix, Pangas. Jiminy Cricket, Scuttlebutt says Jack Smith will raise a 14th Amendment disqualification argument after December 2nd. Thoughts? That won't happen. He's not going to do jack shit, pardon the pun. He's not going to do anything. He's going to retire, and he's going to go off into the hinterlands and, I don't know, grow a beard like Bob Dole did. Not Bob Dole, Al Gore, sorry. I get them mixed up sometimes. Paul, Alex Jones for press secretary. I want Carrie Lake. You couldn't get a finer press secretary than Carrie Lake because she was actually part of the legacy media. She knows how to run rings around these people. Meanwhile, apparently, that is other news. Apparently, an ally of Alex Jones has pledged $1 billion or something like that to buy InfoWars. I have a feeling that they would buy it and then Alex Jones would still be running it, which would be hilarious. Copium Poppies, Sticks, we know the real reason you shaved the beard. You didn't have solidarity with the leftoid chicks shaving their heads. Do we need to get you a blue anal beads bracelet? Oh, anal beads bracelet. Yeah, no, once in a while I've done this because after a while it gets scraggly. And I was trying to trim it up the other day. And I'm like, bullshit. I'm not going to spend fucking 30 minutes trimming up this fucking beard. I'm just going to shave it all off, let it grow back in. And for a while, I won't have to do anything to it. Bretling, the Department of Education video didn't show up on Rumble. Let me check that. I did upload it. Just a sec, everyone. We have a possible tech problem. Oh, well, it's not there. Damn. Well, I'll have to, I'll re-upload after the live stream. I'll upload it again. Jiminy Cricket, neocons seem to be the greatest current threat to the incoming administration. How effective do you think they'll be? Much less effective than in the first term. And the reason why is because Trump now has on-the-job experience and understands who he can rely upon. That's basically the long and short of it. Anyways, let's get to Melania first. We could talk all day about Jill Biden at this point. Melania Trump snubs Jill Biden's White House meeting as First Lady feud rumbles on. Former First Lady is said to be busy with her newly released memoir, Melania. Yeah, I mean, she's got shit to do. Jill Biden, her shit is literally cleaning Joe Biden's shit. In recent months, the former First Lady has re-entered the political spotlight due to the release of her self-titled memoir, Melania. Though she still avoided joining her husband Donald Trump on the campaign trail, a wise decision, by the way, a smiling Melania appeared by the president-elect's side as he swept to victory on election night. However, despite her seeming willingness to somewhat engage with the world of politics again, sources told CNN, for what it's worth, that Melania is set to skip the traditional First Lady meeting. The sources said that the snub is due to an upcoming scheduling conflict related to her New York Times best-selling book. Or it could have something to do with something else. Let me take a guess. Let's see. Why would Melania not want to have tea with Jill Biden? Could it be the fact that Jill Biden's husband had her clothing ransacked, invaded her son's room, invaded the privacy of everyone at the Mar-a-Lago, and then launched off on a campaign of persecution to try to put him in prison? Oh, no, it couldn't have anything to do with that. It's just a scheduling conflict. This is Melania velvet gloving it more than anything else. And Jill Biden cannot be happy. Nor was she happy the other day when she had to appear with Kamala Harris. They did not look at one another the entire time. Not one single word between them as far as I could tell. I wonder why. Meanwhile, you look at this picture and Barron Trump is sitting there smiling. He's like towering over his parents. Holy shit. Apparently he's 6'8". I believe it. He's a full head higher. Like Donald Trump is a tall dude. He's like me. He's 6'2", 6'3", somewhere around there. And Barron Trump's chin, comes up to here on him. So, yeah, Melania's like, fuck you. What the fuck would I want to show up and have tea with you? Pretend that I want to talk to you. This is exactly what we need from a first lady, by the way. Somebody who says, like, fuck you. I'm not going to meet with you at all. That's exactly what we need. And you know that the legacy media will run with that story. And they'll say something to the tune of Melania Trump is unforgiving. Melania Trump can't bury the hatchet. Melania Trump loves to hold grudges. And it'll be the same shit all over again. Honestly, I think she's one of the best first ladies that we've had, actually. She knows when to stand down and just do her own thing. Like her son, Barron, her biological son, wasn't 18 yet. So she didn't really stay at the White House very often. She was busy raising him. I don't see the problem with this. Legend Man EXE77. Hey, Styx, does Anton and Cultivated-Mine ship to Brunswick, Canada? Also, are you a fan of Trailer Park Boys? I've seen some of the latter. I wouldn't say I'm a fan because I've never watched any full episodes or anything, although I probably should. I do not know. I think Anton only ships within the United States, I believe. Not 100% sure. As far as cultivated mind, I think they might ship to Canada. Oven Anaconda, at today's White House meeting, Donald, you called me Hitler and put my family through hell. Shame on you. Joe shits pants. Felix Fanboy Rico, Daddy, you look so cute with your shave. Yeah, people say I look 5 years younger or some shit like that. That was not my goal. I love my goatee. It's just once in a while you got to refresh it, you know? Copium Poppies, also, Facebook are still being Kunst. Our page is still gone, and they are ignoring our request to change the Bonus Holes page name. It's like Big Tech doesn't want us to be able to get out our album to the masses. They probably don't. You have politically incorrect views. No biltong for Eurotrash. Well, Canada's not in Europe, so. Let's see. Oh, yes. Let's get to Trump's recent hirings. It's hit or miss. More hits than misses, though, I would say. We've got, for example, Kristi Noem. I think that's okay. Is it great? No, but I mean, when you get a B on your test, do your parents complain about it unless they're Asian? Probably not. Tulsi Gabbard here, though, really, I think is the kicker. This is again from Nick Swarter. Tulsi Gabbard is set to be named Director of National Intelligence. Now, we're not 100% sure whether this is actually going to happen, but if you get Tulsi Gabbard on board, well, I would have preferred her to be Secretary of State. Yeah, Director of International Intelligence. That sounds like a good role for her. She's got plenty of experience, and she's intelligent and well-spoken. Now we look to the White House press secretary role, I think, personally, since she lost the Senate bid. I think Carrie Lake. Get Carrie Lake aboard there. She'll run rings around the journos. It'll be a great time. It'll also be fucking hilarious. Meanwhile, Stefanik is ambassador to UN. That's hit or miss. Rubio is Secretary of State, I guess. That's all right. I mean, it's acceptable. It's not, some game changer, but you could have done better. Admittedly so. Just saying. Then we got Hegseth there, and he's going to be in a proper role at the Department of Defense. And he's a combat veteran with several Bronze Stars, multiple deployments, and everything else you could possibly want. The big thing about him, though, was watching Elizabeth Warren weigh in and say, well, I think two of her sons or cousins or whatever it is, well, they've been deployed and he has no experience. And you should see, oh my God, some of the attempted community notes on there. In fact, let me see if I can dig them out now. That would be hilarious. I don't know, actually, if I have them here. So we'll just go to Elizabeth Warren's page, shall we? Pocahontas, Let's see. Oh, what have you got to say? And, of course, there's no recent post by her. Actually, go to. I thought I was following her page. Apparently not. Yeah. Donald Trump and his transition team are already breaking the law. I would know because I wrote the law. Incoming presidents are required to prevent conflicts of interest and sign an ethics agreement. That is what illegal corruption looks like. Yeah, blow it out your ass. Nobody cares, dude. Look at Sam Brinton and all the people that were hired by the last administration. Yeah, there was no problems there whatsoever. Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell stole 2 seats on the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. Where is your, for some reason on the, oh, there we are. Never mind. Let's see. Yeah, now she's still rambling about the military and stuff. Like, yes, you really served. Where? She's just been shit posting the entire goddamn time. Okay, well, I guess this live stream I'll have to go to for 5 hours just to cover her cope. I don't even think even there anymore. Anyways, Warren was complaining about him being unqualified because he's a Fox News contributor. It's like, yeah, but he's also a combat veteran. I think that he knows about defense, Just saying. Let's see. Jiminy Cricket, think the deep state will try putting the rightful president in a pine box again before January 20th. Don't put it past them. That's one of the last problems we have to grapple with. Last beacon, which is why I'm getting so damn tired of politically correct views. And but even more so, I'm tired of a moralistic plurality ranting and raving about Trump. Yeah, he's not going to make perfect decisions. There's going to be decisions that he makes that you're going to disagree with. It doesn't, unless you're Trump's clone, it's inevitable. Just relax about it, you know? Come on, man. Again, you got Sam Brinton and people like that and Karine Jean-Pierre in the prior administration. It's more of, again, that same slogan. What more do you want? Is there an improvement? Yes. Is it considerable? Yeah. Hell yeah. Webster's Wares. Good morning, clankers. Buy one, get one free on all Trump items through Monday to celebrate the win. Just add 2 free shipping using code STICKS at websterswares.com. That's what I'm talking about. Kobe and Poppies. Trailer Park Boys is one of the few good things to come out of Canada. Gotta binge watch it all. The episodes aren't exactly standalone. Bob Dahl, thoughts on Libs saying Elon is pumping Doge conflict of interest? They say they made up the Department of Government Efficiency just to pump Doge. Well, they can allege that. Now let them find evidence. BW, do you think it would be smart for Trump to postpone the heavier part of deportation program until after the midterms and just deport the criminals first? Well, he's going to have to prioritize the criminals, but I don't believe in delaying it particularly now. Pilgrim Media, I want you to be the press secretary, Sticks. Yeah, that would be, I could fill that job description. I wouldn't take the job, though. I don't want to fucking move to D.C. Copium Poppies, Mark Zuckerberg belongs in prison. Trump should use the indefinite detention provision of the NDAA on Zuckerberg and his staff. Zuckerberg should be in Gitmo, subjected to enhanced interrogation techniques. Censorship is violence. That'd be interesting. Where was this here? Oh, yeah, I already covered that. Derp. Let's get to our sponsors really quick, and then we'll talk about the death of the legacy media. Yeah, indeed. MSNBC and CNN are both dying. But, don't wet your pants yet, kids. First, I've got to talk about our sponsors. We have cultivated-mind.com, where you can get various mushroom pills. Take them every day. There's a reason for that. They got all sorts of cool shit available there, including refills. So cultivated-mind.com. They are mushroom pills. It's like extracts with lion's mane and cordyceps, reishi, oyster. That's the brain too. Then you've got shaga, turkey tail, reishi, maitake, and shiitake for the immune review. And then you've got cordyceps, reishi, and shaga for the radiant energy. So it sort of depends on what you want. I take them interchangeably myself. Then we've got pumpkinfirecrafts.us. You can get bookmarks for the bibliophile in your life, keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons, glassware, and much more. Lots of memes from the channel, lots of Ouroboros logos. We could use more of those in the world. BiltongUSA.com or AntonsUSA.com. Anton will feed you some sweet meat. I recommend the bison and the cabanasi above all else, although if you're making like ramen, I don't really eat it as much, but I mean, if you can digest it, put some of the Wagyu in there. Yeah, just melt it right into the background, and it's considered to be exquisite. Wicked Needle Embroidery. .bigcartel.com, where you can get a variety of Stick, Sex, and Hammer hats. So we've got the offset, the Ouroboros hat with the logo on the side, and then the main hat, which has a smaller logo with the wings in the center and with the username. Several colors available as well. Heritage Heirloom Seed Company.com. You can get a seed survival bucket. The garden's going to be expanded next year, so I'm looking forward to getting another one of those. Also, Stick, Sex, and Hammer soap. We've got the blue bar that has the cedar, clove, and blueberry. I personally prefer that one. But then we've also got another one. It's really nice. It's got marjoram and lavender in it. It's very floral, actually, in background as far as the smell. We've got websterswares.com/sticks-wares. Again, using code STICKS, or I believe it was code STICKS. You can get some Trump paraphernalia there. They've got a sale right now. Plenty of stick stuff available as well. We've got beanies in homage to Tim Pool. We've got blades. We've also got metal straws. Those are very, very important to save sea turtles so that you can eat them, actually, when you're down in New Orleans. And then finally, jamandbean.com. That is JAMNbean.com, where you can get the official Clank blend of Clanker coffee. You can also get all sorts of teas. In fact, I've got one right here, one of the unopened healer bags. and it is exquisite. Just trust me. Try it just once. You won't be disappointed. Let's see. Last weekend, also Jiminy Cricket. If they try to do something like that, it'll be the last thing they will ever do because half of the damn country will be on fire. Mainly because I believe that finally we have an excuse to finally light the country on fire. I disavow this comment. It could be taken as terroristic. BW, if he gets the economy fixed and inflation down and starts with the criminals, we might keep the House and Senate seats in the midterms, and those last 2 years he can put in hyperdrive. Good point. Yes, you do have to prioritize and plan. John Casamassa, I think that the bright side to Trump picking Rubio to be in his cabinet, it's Rubio, is that it opens his seat up for someone who is more MAGA. Thoughts? Yeah, that could work. I know he's going to be a do-nothing Secretary of State, though. He's a little bit on the background end. The Grizzly, what are your thoughts that New York is insane enough to try and sentence Trump through a loophole? What is the likelihood and the outcome be if it did happen? They would fail. Don't worry about that one. Copium Poppies, every day we remain off of Facebook is the left collectively admitting they fear us and what we have to say. Many, many such cases. JDC, did you get my DM on X about the FEMA thing? I might have, but the other day I had food poisoning, so I wasn't actually online as much. I had to go out to the store and get like the real ginger ale, the stuff with actual ginger in it, because it was pretty bad. Yeah, I had food poisoning the other day. Last Beacon, I'm looking for an excuse to actually have a mass cultural cleansing and social cleansing. Goodness. G-Sticks, Hulk Hogan for bench press secretary. We could get Iron Sheik, but he died. BW, he loses House, Senate, or both. Lame duck at best. Doubtful, actually. Last week, and mainly because I want to fix what was broken 15 to 20 years ago, mainly due to our reaction to Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, that was a little bit of a problem. No Trump bump. MSNBC hemorrhaging viewers since Election Day. Sheds more than half of primetime audience. A 54% drop. MSNBC averaged 1.1 million viewers during the month of October, but plummeted to an average audience of 736,000 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week, following President-elect Donald Trump's historic landslide victory over Vice President Kamala Harris. MSNBC's remarkable 31% drop comes as Fox News Channel's viewership grew by 61% over the same time period. They had to toot their own horn. Now look at the growth of engagement on independent content creators. Oh yeah, some of us are cleaning up with regards to engagement. I've certainly seen a bump myself. It's because when you're right, when you're accurate, and when you're not standing for evil and tyranny and stuff like that, people are more likely to watch you. So yeah, MSNBC is having a real big problem, and it looks like they're going to be axing a bunch of people. But that's not the worst of it for the legacy media. Oh, no. That's just a microcosm. That was a couple of days ago. Now let's go to CNN. How are they doing? Certainly, they have to be doing better than MSNBC. After all, they've tried to straddle that line, right? They should be fine. Oh, no. CNN boss Mark Thompson to lay off hundreds after Election Day. Ratings wipeout, according to report. By the way, this does not just include the janitor. This does not just include the person that operated the third camera. This includes possibly some of their heavy-hitting names. Not exactly sure who's going to be fired for the most part, but some of them definitely are getting a little bit nervous. The network's workforce is reported to be coping. Copium, yeah. With an atmosphere of high stress and high anxiety, according to Puck. Thompson, the former CEO of the New York Times and the BBC, so he has a reputation for wrecking things, may also demand deep cuts to the massive salaries raked in by its struggling primetime stable of anchors, which include Anderson Cooper, Erin Burnett, never heard of her actually, and Caitlin Collins. Cooper, who anchored the election night coverage, rakes in an annual salary reported to be as high as $20 million. Hey, I'll do it for 1 year at CNN. You can give me half that much and then I'll just retire. You know, if you want some fair and balanced coverage. Burnett makes about $6 million and Collins takes home a more budget-friendly $3 million. This is the uniparty writ large. By the way, I don't know that that was necessarily meant to be facetious, and this is from the New York Post. Yeah, they should just axe Anderson Cooper. You'll save all sorts of extra money. Nobody watches him anyway. Can't remember the last time. It's like back in the day when I was doing political content creation, maybe like 10 years ago, or even a little bit more than that. I'd get messages with news topics from all over the place. So the Vox, Salon, CNN, MSNBC, and stuff. They would just pour in. Nobody gives me a fucking shit from CNN these days. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching them. Last beacon, and then after said cultural cleansing, begin a period of rebuilding and reconstruction, then have our second golden age. I think we're embarking on one now. Now on to other things. What is your A1 Christmas gift, the thing that you need the most? I myself want a new tablet, but what about you? I hate getting gifts. I absolutely detest it unless I'm giving something in return. So like, you know, if somebody sends me something nice, but I'm working with them or something, that's fine. I'm not good at receiving gifts. I'm good at giving them. I'm not good at receiving them. My idea of the perfect gift, there are two things. Cook me something spectacular that I've specifically asked you to cook for me. Generally, this will be shepherd's pie or meatloaf or something like that. Or just fucking hand me money. Because I'll appreciate what's purchased more. I know that may sound like postmodern. It may sound terrible. You know, I'm sorry that I don't appreciate this thing that you got me that was really sentimental, but I'm literally never going to use. No, just give me food, basically. Don't even give me money. Just cook me something. That I will appreciate. Kind of want mac and cheese again soon, too. Come to think of it. I get hungry sometimes. Yeah, I had food poisoning the other day. So, you know, there's not much in here at the moment. So, let's see. Nick B. Carrie Lake for press secretary. Absolutely. That would be my choice. You couldn't do better. Holden Sneedmeyer. I'm seeing an unrealistic expectation when it comes to foreign policy, especially among the Daily Wire crowd. I didn't vote Trump to have him fail to realize the world has changed since 4 years ago. Yeah, well, I mean, policies in general, a lot of people have unrealistic expectations for them. I think he'll do well generally. Will he do perfectly well? No. Will he do generally well? Yeah, I think he will. Copium Poppies. Also, we are kind of a big deal in the Middle East. CR Short. Those guys know how to rock out. I remember there was an anti-Islamic black metal band some time ago. It was called... fuck with you. You might enjoy it. Actually, I don't know if I can link it out on the live stream. That would be okay. Tadnees. That's Tadnees. Nuke Mecca. Just look that up. I don't dare to link it though. It was a pretty fun song. It's an Iraqi band, actually, which means that they were under the threat of literally being killed for making their music. Yeah, definitely probably dead by now. They've probably slaughtered them. Special counsel Jack Smith plans to resign. File his report before Trump can fire him, according to a report, which is funny. The cope and spin that I'm seeing from this is definitely what I wanted to talk about mainly. I've seen a number of liberal commentators saying, well, Jack Smith is trolling Donald Trump. Ha ha, Trump can't fire him. He's quitting. Meanwhile, it's more like, well, he's inevitably going to get fired. So he's decided to quit. So I don't know, he can keep his pension or something like that, release his report and just wander off like Al Gore into the hinterlands. It's a cope. Jack Smith lost. In the end, he was completely unsuccessful. And those people who are doing the usual poopy diapers, poopy Dawn, sort of pee-pee stain thing, they just look petulant and retarded as a result of this. Ever Eden. Oh, Sticks. Without facial hair is making me cry like when toddlers see their dad with a smooth face. No, I will be regrowing it, and it won't take long. Give it another week, and you'll never know that I shaved it, basically. Tends to grow fairly fast. It's just, I wanted it to be even. And for about 6 months then, I don't really have to do trimmy thing very much. It makes it much, much quicker, much more efficient. And I am time starved because I have so many things I have to do every fucking day. So don't worry, you'll get the goatee back. Just bear with me for a few days. Yeah, Jack Smith is resigning. You know, that moron. He looks like the store brand version of Christopher Lee, actually, kind of. You look in his eyes and at his beard and stuff like that. Doesn't he look a little bit like Christopher Lee, like around the same age period? Only he looks like the low rent version of him. I think he does. Webster's Wares just started a Kickstarter to fund a new embroidery machine. We can then make custom hats, beanies, hoodies, and shirts for clankers. Rewards for backers. Websterswares.com/Kickstarter. Interesting. Sounds nice. Last Beacon. What I meant by second golden age, I'm talking about rebuilding mall culture as well as having a balancing between commerce and brick and mortar shopping culture. No, you're not. You find Tadney's on YouTube. Just look up Tadney's Nuke Mecca. I don't think they have a Facebook page. I don't think that Facebook operates in Iraq. Yeah, no, I wouldn't, Shingalinga. I wouldn't say he looks like Matt Christensen. No, I think that he looks a little bit like a very low rent, like degraded version of Christopher Lee in one of his lesser roles or something like that. He's not nearly as intelligent, though. Also, you notice he only has one facial expression. Can you imagine Jack Smith smiling? Like a genuine smile, not like a shit-eating grin, but actually being happy? It's hard for me to fucking imagine that, actually. Polecat, Tucker named press secretary. If that's true, we definitely have to talk about it. Doubtful. Yeah, no, not confirmed. It's possible, though. Honestly, I think Carrie Lake could be better. Bystander syndrome. InfoWars getting corruptly auctioned today. Last-minute rules change. Opaque sale now. Does Alex Jones get a pardon later? Does he deserve an American Citizen Medal of Honor equivalent medal? I think that Alex Jones should simply not be subject to, the case in general. Did he defame people? Yes, he did. Does that mean you get assessed $1 billion in damage? No. That is very abnormal. It is excessive. It's actually unconstitutional. He should have gotten a basic bitch fine, paid it off, and gone about his business. Pam G. Sticks, did you see the news about Jews being attacked in the Netherlands? That appears to have been a group of hooligans, actually. And then it broke down by ethno-religious lines. Recipe Guy, Sticks, what does it say about our female presidential candidates when they can't make a concession speech at the moment of defeat? BT Dubs, clank. Yeah, it's happened twice now. Doesn't speak volumes for them. Of course, they always seem to be heavily alcoholic, so that might have something to do with it. Medic Babe 21D, daily reminder that one of the actionable conditions of DoD Directive 524001 is refusal to accept election results. Yeah, fuck them. Who cares? Hink Hall, seeing lots of harsh rhetoric on deportation. Just remember, Latino men voted for Trump. Wouldn't be wise to start deporting their parents. Focus on violent criminals. Don't hand Dems and I told you so. They're not, because most of their parents, the whole point is most of them are legal citizens. They were born in the United States. They're third gen. Holden Seedmeyer. He'll do fine as long as he doesn't try to strong arm. Wash your hands of Ukraine. Not his war. Not his problem. We're not in the position of strength. Not yet. Johnny Thunders. Can you recommend any good YouTube or Rumble channels pop up recently that are worth subscribing to? I haven't done a channel crawl in a little while, actually. Should probably do that. So sorry. I don't have any recommendations. Wasted Bonehead. Good morning from the grave. Ass and titties. Oh, Meat Hook 123. Yes, I saw the Fuentes video, and it seems like basically he had a psycho chick stalker show up, and probably before the recording began was like yelling at him through the window or something. So he comes out, and I don't know if it was pepper spray or not. It actually looked more like, I don't know, some adulterant or something. It didn't look like a pepper spray bottle anyway. And she just randomly like falls off the stairs, claims that he like shoved her down. I don't believe that. Based on what I see in the video, a psycho stalker, twice his age, shows up at Nick Fuentes' house. And he feels threatened because he's like, who's this crazy bitch that showed up and is recording my home, is recording me, and probably berating him before the recording was made. She's apparently pressing assault charges, by the way. And then he says, get the fuck out of here, basically. That's one for him, by the way. Supposedly pepper sprays her. But I don't know. That doesn't really look like pepper spray. Looks more like he just spritzed some random shit on her face, and then he took the phone back inside, kicked it a couple of times, and then, you know, locked himself inside, called the police, and then the rest is history. So it looks like the story was fundamentally true, except the whole, hey, Nick Fuentes did a terrible thing part. I think Nick Fuentes appears to have acted appropriately. And then you've got that famous frame of Nick Fuentes looking down, and people are memeing that the shit up. Good on him. It's hilarious. Red Chris 97. Hey, Sticks, I just watched a Ron Burke stream, and he said Trump hired this gal in bed with Chinese communists. Is this true? No, it's not. Brock Sampson 71. Obama's legacy is Donald Trump. Yeah, fundamentally. Now, let's see. There is one thing that Trump has suggested. And for some of you, you won't agree with me, so bear with me. Let me explain before you dogpile me. Trump has vowed to kill U.S. offshore wind projects. Will he succeed? Now, of course, a lot of this is just liberal bullshit. It's like, well, I mean, he's going to turn the planet into Tatooine. We're all going to die because we didn't build windmills. That's not the problem. I would just offer offshore wind as being a generally efficient, much lower risk idea than onshore wind, number one. Because if one of those turbines decides to catch fire and collapse into the ocean, probably no humans are injured in the process. Oh shit, it killed a humpback whale. Well, just harvest it and, maybe you'll get some ambergris or something like that, sperm whale. That's perfectly fine. I don't give a fuck. Putting them offshore means a steady supply of actual wind, higher efficiency, etc. Now, Trump is fundamentally correct. He was talking to Rogan about this at one point, talking about the possibility that it interferes with whales' navigational systems. Don't we already have Wi-Fi signals, satellite signals, power plants, desal plants, and every other technological fucking electrified piece of bullshit under the sun near the shore? I have a feeling that erecting a few windmills is not going to kill a bunch of whales. It is, meanwhile, a relatively efficient form of energy compared with onshore wind. Personally, I'm in team home solar, but it appears that the governments of the world don't want people to put solar panels on their homes. They want to strip cut forests and then put them out in fields where the forest used to be, which I'm not sure is exactly helpful to reabsorbing carbon. And I'm not worried about CO2 anyway. I don't give a fuck about that. Drive the goddamn SUVs. My crops will grow marginally faster. But if you're going to use a so-called green, so-called renewable energy source, offshore wind is more efficient than most of the alternatives, at least at the industrial, like highly commercial scale. Otherwise, home solar is good. Nuclear is good. A lot of people don't want to use that. By the way, please send no more super chats, by the way, because I've got to get to these. There's a shit ton of live chats. King of Biltong, fresh face sticks. I shaved my goatee off once. My wife took one look at me and said, no, that was in 2017 and never tried that again. Yeah, I think most people have become so used to it that they want me to have the goatee, but I really just wanted to refresh it. I'll let it grow back in. I'll just keep the sides shaved, Last Beacon. The reason I want me a tablet is because I want to get back to gaming and or art. The tablet I have is old, like really old, like I got it at the pandemic old. Yeah, that's a little old. Although I would say I'm using a computer from 2019 or something like that. So that's not that old. Depends. You take care of it and shit like that. King of Biltong, you asked. We stream Friday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. Shit talking while cooking real food. We eventually set up a channel. Go to rumble.com/c/eatatantons and hit that follow. you'll want to try some of Anton's sweet meat. I still got some carbonasi in there. I got to chow down on that at some point. But again, having had food poisoning yesterday, I think maybe today I should take it a little bit easy. I'm probably going to have a loaded salad later, like, with some hard-boiled egg and shit like that. You need your protein, and you don't always have to have piles and piles of meat. If you're going to get them, you should get them from Anton's. Scott Steiner, the world's greatest ring announcer. Lots of cope about Smith. Almost all articles leave out that Trump can pardon himself because 45, private citizen, and 47 are separate legal entities. Lots of save us, Jack Smith. Lock Orange Man up. He's not going to do shit. He's going to disappear. He'll go on Mitch McConnell's cocaine yacht, maybe. Add some biltong to your diet as a high-protein snack alternative packed with B12, zinc, iron, creatine, and more. Get yourself some at biltongusa.com. Sticks 10 for 10% off. We have dried fruit. Next time I get a shipment, I hope some of that dried fruit comes. Don't know which fruits they are. I'm not a huge fan of apricot. When I was a kid, weird food story. When I was a little kid, I used to be gung-ho for dried apricots. And I would eat container after container, just couldn't get enough of them. But then at some point when I became a teenager, all of a sudden I get dried apricots and I just didn't like them anymore. I just couldn't really stand them for some reason. And I didn't even know why. Oh, good. King of Biltong, send me dried fruit. Yes. Last beacon, last rumble rant. Pingus, 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 pingus. I didn't get all the pinguses, but Copium poppies. Donald J. Trump stock is performing horribly considering he just won the election. That company, it doesn't matter. He doesn't care. BW, I hope Trump gives out stimulus that will help keep Senate and House. I just don't want him to be impeached or lame duck. He won't be. He may be impeached, but it'll be toothless. Stimulus. I would rather stimulate the economy through a longer term effort than simply giving people checks like W did. Sparky, greetings, fearless leader. Greetings to you. Hashtag no Rubio. Hashtag no Stefanik. Hashtag no Brian Hook. Some of his hires admittedly have been better than others, and some of the people he's considering are better than others. You're never going to get a 10 out of 10 unless you yourself run for office and make all of your own decisions. BW, first Senate leader vote going on. Yeah, we're at this point, I guess we, ironically, because I'm not a fan of his, I guess we have to hope for Phil Scott. Not Phil Scott, Rick Scott. Why do I get those two mixed up all the time? Rick Scott, the former senator, current, whatever he is from Florida, former governor, current senator. And then Phil Scott, the governor of my home state. Probably because they're interchangeable morons, but at the very least, he's better than the alternatives. Ah, figs. I love figs. Yeah, prediction. They will impeach Trump for a third time. It's only a matter of time. They will look for any excuse to do that. They will not remove him from office, but they will at least attempt to impeach him. Probably after the midterms, when it is very likely that the Democrats do regain the House majority. Hink Hall, many Latinos who voted Trump are first gen, so their parents are at risk. Mass deportation, but within reason. It does have the potential for bad optics. I'm sure that something will be figured out, but I would point out that a significant proportion of the Latinos and Latinas in the country are no longer first gen. Dried fruit and Thanksgiving stuffing, asked Shasta. Either way, it doesn't matter. They're both good. Last beacon, I wouldn't mind having stimulus, just don't have the clusterfuck that we had back 4 years ago. Yeah, if I get a stimulus check, what'll I do with it? I guess I can expand the garden even more. Okay, thank you. Donald, I will grow a victory garden for you. I'd rather you not bother, though. It's not really necessary. The best thing that you can do is simply hyper-deregulate and lower the tax rate. That is your stimulus. Oh, you mean I paid $30,000 in federal taxes last year? Now I'm only paying $25,000? Well, there's $5,000 extra dollars for you to pump into the private economy. Yeah, they will almost certainly impeach Trump a third time if they get the votes. It would be very odd if they didn't. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. He's not going to get removed. He can't run again, so they'll just do it for sour grapes reasons. Now watch the Democrats try to do that, but they fail anyway. Oh, that'd be funny. By the way, speaking of food, I'm not going to eat one right now because, I'd probably start puking all over myself. I've got to get those MREs back out. And Anton sent me a South African MRE, so I want to do a video of that at some point. I do have to clean off my workspace, though, because you can't see it, but it's a little bit on the messy side in front of me. You think that that's a little bit cluttered up. Haha, that's the clean part of the desk. Wasted Bonehead, no more Rumble rants? Fine. Ping us times 10. Let's see. Just a second here. There is one more thing that I wanted to check. Sometimes science news and physics news roll over around this time of day. And so if there's anything like super interesting. I got one on, what was it? Actually, because keep in mind at 1 p.m. I go live with the quartering. So make sure to head over there after I do my live stream. What was it? Polystyrene, one of the most common contaminants in landfills. It looks like they've developed a way to actually clear that out, which means roughly a 30% reduction to landfill volume, assuming that they figure it out. Sigil Stone, ever had a Zimbabwe MRE? It's a bag of air. No, that's a bag of sand. If you want a bag of air, you go to Malawi. Unfortunately, there's no new news. You've got one. The virus behind an outbreak in Brazil can spread from mother to fetus. I might docket that for tomorrow. Oropuche to the womb. Okay, so it passes the barrier in the umbilical cord. Ice Age plankton model suggests sea life will struggle to survive future global warming. I'd be willing to predict that won't happen. Anyways, who gives a fuck? Anyways, I'm going to go offline here. I will be back tomorrow again. Keep in mind, at 1 p.m., I go live with the quartering. I'm keeping it slightly shorter today and started it slightly earlier because my schedule today has been a little bit weird. I had a bunch of other stuff to do, leaf-related stuff, among other things. And so, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to fill up the docket, get ready for my quartering stream. Again, 1 p.m. on his channel. You can find that. Just look up the quartering. It's pretty easy to find. I should probably get a snack too, like actually have food in my system. I'm just worried that it's going to make me nauseous again. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do the best that we can. That's about all. Peace out.